fragrances I'd repurchase instantly. And I've tried a lot of fragrances so far, but there are pretty much only a handful, that I would actually repurchase. And I have a small selection here. This probably isn't my entire selection that I would repurchase, but the highlights are here. So I'm gonna start with actually one of the first fragrances I ever bought, which is this very small sample of L'air du Temps by Nina Ricci. This is quite an old fragrance. This originally came out in 1948. And it's a really good alternative to Chanel No. 5, specifically because they're both floral aldehyde fragrance. They're both very nice, warm floral fragrances. The difference here is that L'air du Temps does not have the civet note that No. 5 has, which is a big difference. It doesn't quite have that animalistic note, but it still has some really delicious musk notes, wood notes to make it very warm, very kind of a cozy fragrance, smooth. I would say L'air du Temps is my top 5 favorite fragrances. It's just really smooth, really classic, and really elegant. And it's hard to, I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's so nicely balanced, it's so agreeable. So that one I would definitely repurchase the full bottle in a heartbeat, because obviously this sample is very, very small. But yeah, it's like a classic, extremely delicious fragrance. Very classic feminine fragrance. Then, actually another quite old fragrance, which I also very much enjoy. This is Youth Dew by Estee Lauder, which came out in 1953. This is the opposite of L'air du Temps in the fact that it is extremely strong and spicy and musky. So this, yeah, it's some people, this is too much for some people if you don't have the guts for it. But this is cloves, cinnamon, musk, I think balsam notes here. Extremely heavy fragrance. This was huge in the 1950s among, suburban moms and wives. This was affordable luxury back in the day. And it was actually a bath oil before they turned it into a perfume because women liked it so much. They wanted an actual fragrance. This is really delicious. Besides all the heavy spice notes, it also has tons of floral notes like rose, lily of the valley, I think there's lang lang in it. Really, it's a huge list of notes. Delicious concoction. It because it's so strong, it will last forever. And you don't even have to put that much on, just a few sprays, it'll last a long time. So definitely good if you want a fragrance that will stick around. It's especially good for winter and autumn because, it's such a warm, heavy, cozy fragrance. It's perfect for the cold weather. It's also really good for the evening because it'll last all evening, and also it's just more of an evening fragrance. And like as with L'air du Temps, it has that classic feminine luxury sort of thing. Just use it with caution because it is really, really strong. Besides that, for a more modern approach to things, I would get this in an instant. This is Oud Satin Oud from Maison Francis Curjat, which this is just such a good scent. It's primarily oud, which is a very nice warm and musky wood note, mixed with Turkish rose, along with some vanilla. So for me, the main notes are the oud and the rose, which in my opinion counteract each other and blend together in the most perfect way, because of course you're getting the sweetness of the rose mixed with the very heavy kind of oily, musky notes of the oud, and that produces this extremely warm, slightly sweet, slightly vanilla-esque fragrance. And from that, you get this hyper luxurious, very finely crafted, just fragrance. It's great. It's It's from the same brand that made Baccarat Rouge 540, which is famous for its luxurious feel and smell. But I would argue that Oud Satin Mood is more luxurious, more intriguing, more mysterious. And it's definitely a special sort of fragrance. Because it is warmer, probably best for, the evening or colder weather. But in general, like, what a good fragrance. Just, I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's just really good. Then, the last two are both from Dior. If you could see, Ambre Nuit and then Tobacco Color. Both of these are actually kind of similar in that they're heavy, smooth, sort of warm fragrances. And I love them both. Tobacco Color obviously has some very strong tobacco notes mixed in, while Ambre Nuit is more of a smooth, dark, velvety, slightly floral sort of fragrance. I would get both of these in an instant, but they're like $300 or more per bottle, which of course is quite a lot. It is from Dior, it's expected, but man, those are two really good ones. Because they're warm, obviously they're going to be better for colder weather, and they're both quite long lasting, easily 7 to 8 hours. Besides that, that's pretty much what I have to say about fragrances I would repurchase instantly. If you have any opinions about these fragrances, you can always leave those down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.